Welcome back to Sports Federation TV. We talk about sport, we talk about how sport is played. We're chatting aquatics. We've got one common denominator, which is Cedric, and we're joined by Rudolf, who's replaced Jessica. Hi Rudolf, how are you?
I'm good, thanking yourself.
Good, thanks. Thanks for coming onto this great show. Tell us a bit about who you are, what's your speciality in aquatics?
My name is Rudolf Visser. My specialty is long distance and open water swimming. So anything over 200 I can do.
Anything over?
200 meters. So that's up to a marathon swimming, 10 kilometers, 5 kilometers, 1500, 200 freestyle, 400, 800, 200 fly, you name it, I'll swim it.
Sure. Multi-talented, eh? What's it been like swimming around Robben Island? Tell us a bit about that.
That was pretty interesting, swimming in a big ocean. It was different for once, but it was very fun though. Swimming with the elements is actually nice. It's a lot different to following a black line. This time I had to follow a boat all the way across the sea. But it was excellent swimming it. Bit cold, but refreshing as well.
Yeah, because all you had was a speedo. I mean, really, the water's cold.
Yeah, it was nice and refreshing jumping in the beginning, but I got used to it and I made it to the end at least.
No. Let's take that story a bit back. You didn't just make it to the end. Tell us that middle bit, when you were getting ice cold. What did you do? What was it like?
It was a bit bad swimming through it. You were getting cold, but I just kept telling myself, yeah, I can finish this. I've done all the mileage, I've done all the training. And then I just tried focusing on the same thing. So just tried getting my head out of the cold water state. And then the next thing I knew, I was actually at the end. And the cold water didn't bother me that much to the end.
So did you lead from the front, or what was your strategy?
My strategy in the beginning was just to swim it. It was a dream since a little boy to do the crossing. And then I didn't lead it. The Olympian Troyden Prince who actually led it out. And then I was trailing behind him up to about 2.5 Ks. Then I met up with him, so I gained caught him. And then we were swimming next to each other for about 500 to a kilometer. And then I pulled away. And well, after that I was on my own, taking the lead.
And Cedric, what was the final result?
Rudolf beat Troy, which is the Olympic swimmer.
Yeah.
And Rudolf was the new youngster on the block. Yeah, it was just a good swim. But I think it was basically one beforehand. We planned the whole thing in terms of how we were going to go out, make Troy do the hard work, go out in front, and then we'll swim with Troy. And Troy came out like a torpedo out the harbour. And all Rudolf needed to do was stay close and let him do the work for the first 2.5 Ks. I've known Troy. Troy was my Olympic swimmer in London. And the minute I saw Troy going on his back, I knew he was in trouble. Whether it was swim, whether it was the cold water, whether he's done too little mileage, that we do not know. And from then onwards, Rudolf just had to stay tuck and to swim our race. We weren't going to rush in and swim over Troy. He went feeding. He fed every kilometer. And our strategy was that we're going to feed after 5 for the first time, which means we needed to be in the water, get acclimatized to the cold water, and then start feeding. Because you wouldn't feed in a pool the first kilometer, so we wouldn't break that kind of momentum. Troy fed every kilometer, and on the second feed, we closed right up onto Troy. 2.5 Ks, Troy came out, Rudolf was in front, he swam behind Rudolf, he slipstreaming. And from then onwards, we knew we had the race. All Rudolf needed to do was stay on pace. Troy was going to go back in to feed. And suddenly we pulled away. And the minute we pulled away, he had nothing to swim on. We knew where we were going, and the chase was on.
I'm flabbergasted that you have a feed in a swim. Explain that to me. I mean, that's a new concept. You never hear someone feeding on a swim, guys.
Well, we don't necessarily go to a fast food outlet.
Yeah, but I mean, well, how do you feed? You're in the water, you're swimming.
Yeah.
You hang on to the boat, or what do you do?
No, the body can take so much and then it needs to be replenished. It depends on what we eat. I've seen it worlds where people eat bananas and sandwiches while swimming. The secret here or the law is that you can't touch the swimmer. The swimmer can't touch you. So you basically go out and feed him on a pole. He takes something out. He can't hang on to the pole either. That will be a DQ. So he basically grabs a bottle, undo the cap. You got to undo the cap for him and suck it. Otherwise, the little sachets in their costumes, they rip that open and they bite and they squeeze the gel or whatever out and eat. It could be, they can squeeze a banana in there and squeeze it out, and that would be the feed. But I mean, it's not as if we know they're going to stop and eat. If the pack doesn't come in, you don't come in, basically that. So you have emergency feeds on you while the coach or whoever will feed you.
Strategy. I can't go further than this. Explain to me the mechanics of how you did it. Because this is something totally foreign to me. Don't laugh, Cedric. This is,
How
not,
you-
this is something foreign. On a bicycle, I know how to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're swimming, you're doing a stroke. How do you consume anything? Don't you need both your arms to stroke, or you just kick?
No, we actually teach it, or you teach yourself. So it's practice makes perfect. So you have to practice it. So I've practiced in the pool feeding. All that you actually do is almost like a water polo stroke. But when you pull down with the one hand, you get the bottle, and then you flip onto your back, and you just keep on kicking, and then it's one gulp. It's about 3 seconds of swimming that stop. And as soon as you've taken the gulp, you just chuck the bottle, hope your coach catches it, and then you flip back over onto your stomach, and then you're swimming again.
Okay, so you're not in the stroke, you actually roll over.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're actually
Okay.
on your back. It's
Okay.
easier to drink like that.
Okay. It's like doing a roll when you're going around a beacon, something similar.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was a bit confused there, Rudolf.
Yeah, you have to feed though. After an hour of racing
Yeah.
so hard, your body needs a bit of energy, sugar in it too.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Other than Robben Island, what else have you done?
I've done Junior World Champs 2 years back in 2012 where I raced the 5 kilometers, and I've done Province Champs, all the provincials and stuff like that. And now I'm preparing for Junior Worlds again for a 7.5 kilometer race.
7.5 kilometer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a short little distance.
Yeah, it's not too short. It's a bit more in my comfort zone. I like it. I do marathon swimming more, which is 10 kilometers. So 7.5 is more in my, you can say, playground. I like it a lot, the distance. It's more technical than just pure brutal power and speed. So yeah.
And in terms of training, do you go out and you swim in the dam, or do you do more pool training?
Mostly pool training, but I have excessive mileage. So I'll do about 10 k's a session 10 times a week.
10 k's a session.
Yeah.
That's let's just think. Let's do the math. How many laps is that in a normal pool, Cedric?
That's a lot of laps.
I think it's about 200. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, 200. No, more.
No.
Enough.
400
Enough.
laps.
Yeah, well, it's not just about, it's not just about the endurance. Endurance phase will squeeze in.
Yeah.
Well, that's got to go speed. So it's all about how it's planned, when we need to do what. In the beginning, it would be a lot of mileage. Later on, we'll reduce the mileage and add a bit of speed. And yeah, the distance swimmers are completely different. They have low pulse. They have everything is funny. They're the marathon runners. So everything is different in terms of their makeup. Well, these taper will most probably start the minute we get to. In fact, we're swimming in Israel in
Yeah.
August. When we come back from Commonwealth, we're on our way to Israel for the World Champs. That's when his taper starts. So he doesn't need a longer taper. He's is much shorter than the sprinter types and the pool swimmers. And yeah, then we taper for that. The only difference is we don't have the kind of conditions where we can race in a dam or in a lake or in a river all the time. That would be perfect conditions, and we'd love to do that. So we must make use of the swimming pool. And right now it's not the best thing to do because you will be swimming in hot air. Everything will be heated. The water will be warm, and here we in SA where it's fairly cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, and that's why I asked the
Yeah.
question, because
That would-
your conditions that you're going to be racing may be completely different to your training. But like you say, you do have
Yeah.
outdoor swims.
Yeah.
Rudolf, sadly, we're coming to the end of an exciting chapter with you. What other than World Champs? What's next?
After World Champs, I still got matric finals to do.
Oh, no. That too.
Yeah.
In 1 year. No way.
Yeah, so that's actually not out of swimming, but after that, we'll just see how it goes. Olympics is a dream, so I want to get there, and then World Champs as well.
It shouldn't be a dream. It should be there. You
Yeah.
should be able to touch it now.
Yeah, I
You
hope so.
beat
I'm gonna try.
Troyden. I mean, what's next?
It's 2 Olympians in front of you, but I'll try. The dream is to get there.
Yeah, he was very fortunate where he could train with Troy when Troy was training down with us. And I think that was an inspiration of him then, really see that he can step it up and do
Yep.
open water. And the chance now to beat Troy was excellent.
Yeah.
So now that tangible is very real. So we'll see. Rudolph's basically, I mean, our goal for him is 2016 and beyond. We'll have a shot at 2016, but it's really beyond 2016 in terms of open water and pool swim.
You've got a long career ahead of you, my friend.
Yeah.
Long hours. Closing comments?
I don't know actually.
Tell us a bit about what motivates you to be a swimmer or to be a high level, high performance swimmer. What motivates you?
Just not the traveling, but meeting so many different people, seeing so many different cultures. It's an experience to actually meet so many people you end up in places you've never know you'd actually see or even know. So it's a pretty great sport to help you make new friends and actually build a bigger family.
Perfect.
Yeah, good one.
Cedric, thanks for your time.
Pleasure.
Hopefully your wife will see you a bit more towards the end of this year. That you'll be home a bit more before your next travels. Thanks for coming
Yeah,
on. Thanks
so
for the
too.
input that you make into these athletes' lives and all the experience that you bring at all these events. Rudolf, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Let's see those medals next time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Elton.
When we come back, we'll talk Future Factory. See you now.